Hi guys, welcome back. We're now casting Game 3 of the VPL Double Elimination Grand Finals between myself and Link. Currently I am up 2-0 in this best of 5 series, and we are playing on Antigua Shipyards with Link spawning in the northern right position and myself spawning in the bottom left. Production tabs on the names. And Link has gone for some pretty heavy bio medevac openings in the last two games, so let's see if he goes for anything different in this particular game. I don't have a lot of experience on Antigua Shipyards. I think I'd only played on the map one time on ladder. In fact, I actually wasn't entirely certain where the spawn positions were, so I was a little nervous opening up on this map. Still getting just the very standard pylon gateway on 12 or 13, and presumably a very standard 12 barracks. There it goes. And both of us throwing down our geysers. And so again, no super secret cheesy openings happening here. No proxy racks, no proxy gateways, none of that sort of business. Just standard play. And my scout does get over there and see what he's doing, and looks like he will be scouting me at around the same time. Now I think leaving was actually a bit of an error. I think I should have stayed around, because seeing this second geyser can be very, very indicative of the build. Having two geysers that early generally means you're going to see a 1-1-1 from Terran, or some sort of early siege tank, Thor rush, something very gas heavy. I do have the probe up here so we can come scout the front in a little bit, but again, chrono building up a little bit. I think I should use one more chrono on probes, and I would still have enough to do the double chrono on the stalker and the warp gate. And is it going to be a factory going down? It is. So that does look to be a 1-1-1 with these Marines here to deny any scouting of it. Maybe put the factory a little further back. If I ran a probe up, there's a chance I would get it to see this factory before the probe got killed by the Marines. And once you see a factory, you can pretty much put down a 1-1-1 as a guarantee. But with that bunker going down, especially in that position, a 1-1-1 is very likely anyways. And the counter to a 1-1-1 is generally any sort of gateway expansion. You know, a 4-gate can work. I think I'm actually going to do a 4-gate in this game, which that might not work so well. Misclicked over here and attacked the... Yep, there's a proxy pylon going down, so it is a 4-warp gate. And an early expansion, a 2-gate, 1-gate, 3-gate expand, all of those can actually kick in enough that you'll have enough gateway units on the field. You try to meet this 1-1-1 army as it comes out. You want to just delay it as long as possible and do all the damage right there in the middle, and then basically come in and attack at the very last second when it starts to really threaten your natural expansion. And a lot of times it can be a good idea, maybe warp a pylon in here and warp in a bunch of zealots and pincer attack that army as it starts to move into siege up. But I am going for a 4-warp gate, and that is not going to work well. With that bunker already down, that many Marines out, stalkers just don't do well enough against the Marines. And I do pull out after only taking a bit of damage, but still probably too much damage to make that attack worth it, especially with a 1-1-1 coming. And maybe I should have just expanded immediately and hoped that his 1-1-1 was delayed enough to get any use out of the expansion. but I'm really not sure. I'm not sure if they don't get cloak normally, but I wanted to get an observer out in case he did choose to get cloak for the attack. And if we look at the units tab, I'm still on 20 workers because I cut probes for that 4-gate that failed pretty miserably. So it's not looking good for me in this game just yet. Another thing that might be good is maybe warping a few zealots here after you see the attack leave, and try to delay the attack by just walking in a couple of zealots. Most Terrans will salvage this bunker when they move their army out to go do the 1-1-1 attack. And so if you can run a couple of zealots in, again, anything you can do to delay this attack, because it's a big one base attack, anything that delays it can essentially win you the game. One base timing attacks they're timing attacks for a reason. They require you to hit at a very appropriate time where any sort of army gain from the expansion is not yet, felt. That economy hasn't really recovered from taking the expansion. Starting to resume probe production. Not using my chrono to the best of my abilities. Should be getting those immortals out. And at this point, I don't think I actually thought it was a 1-1-1. I really should have known that. That's just a game sense issue or an experience issue. Seeing that bunker at the front with that many Marines during the 4-gate should have been just warning bells that this was a 1-1-1 coming. And as we see, it's actually been quite a while since that attack failed, so if this expansion had gone down instead of these initial 4 zealots, I might have actually been in a position where I would have had enough gateway units to really come in and poke at this force. As it is now, looking at the units tab, 7 zealots, 7 stalkers, and an immortal. If I attack directly into this force, I am definitely going to lose my entire army. And he's getting a nice... This is a pretty well executed 1-1-1. He's got the 3 Banshees out, the 4 tanks, a good double-digit number of Marines, and there is that bunker getting salvaged. So yeah, maybe warping in a couple of zealots right when I see his army hit this midpoint, send a couple of zealots streaming in here. That might have worked. And I'm not taking that expansion because I see the attack coming. And doing a good job here. I think Link pulled a very appropriate amount of SCVs there, not going fully all in with it. I was sending my stalkers forward. I thought I could maybe catch his Banshees out of position, but he does smartly pull them back before they get too far ahead of the rest of the army. And so I'm going to be forced to pull my units back there. And I do not know. Warping in stalkers, again, maybe zealots would have been better. Stalkers tend to die immediately, but I was also, with that many Banshees on the field, I wanted to have enough stalkers to deal with it. And once those tanks get sieged up, that just annihilates the gateway portion of my army. Trying to get those mortals over there to take care of the tanks, but it's just a little too much for me. And that's just about everything I can do. I don't think there's... Yeah, I GG there. Doesn't look like there's any way I can come back from that. Alright, so now the series is 2-1, and we're going to be going on to Game 4 in just a few moments. Thank you all for watching.